I got off the phone with Chives, and unfortunately, the boy got a speeding ticket. The cameras got him on the way home from the Super Bowl party.
Welcome back, everyone. That's all I got for you.
Wow. Quite the intro. Thanks, babe. So some of you are listening to us through the YouTubes, some on Spotify, some on Apple Podcast. You're listening and you haven't hit the subscribe button. You haven't 5-star reviewed us. You haven't commented or liked. What's happening?
What's going on?
What's happening, y'all? Hit the like, hit the subscribe, throw us a comment. Tell us what you've been doing this week or something you enjoy on the past episodes.
Yeah. Or something you want to know about us. I think that's a good one.
Speaking of
about
us, getting to know us. Mm-hmm. This episode, what might we call it?
Get to know us.
Our story, an open book. If our story was a book, what kind of book would it be? We're talking sci-fi, fantasy, picture. Is it just a picture book? Is it in Braille? For our audio listeners.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think our book is a futuristic book, and it's actually a movie.
Futuristic?
Actually, yeah. Have you seen National Treasure? Or not National Treasure, Treasure Planet?
Yes.
The Disney movie?
Mm-hmm.
The books, when they open it, it's like a hologram, and it's like they're watching a movie, but it's a book.
What? Oh, yeah. In the movie.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I thought you had that. I was like, what are you talking about?
No. I think that's what our story would be.
Okay.
It's a pop-up movie.
We can go with that. We can go with that.
That's probably the only way kids will read in the future is it's got to be read. It's got to be dramatized.
Oh, yeah.
Sound effects.
Yeah. No, there won't be any words.
They will not read.
It's just you open it and there's just a video playing.
Yeah. I can say this, though. I can remember when, we're still young, but when we were, kids, 10, 15, even 20, and our parents, at least mine, would say like, yeah, libraries and newspapers, those things are just going to be non-existent in a few years.
While they were actually like using them?
Yeah. Like I'm saying, like we were kids, we were just talking about life or whatever.
You know what? You're right. Because I remember Ronnie Baby saying, these DVDs, man, something's gonna kick it. Mm-hmm.
And
so now it's become like a collector's thing. But
yeah. And I'm glad you brought up DVDs because DVDs are still being made. I'm beep, beep, beep. Back up the truck. I'm not talking about Blu-rays or 4Ks. We're talking about DVDs. The first DVD came out in probably like 1990. And we're still making... DVD just sounds old and dusty.
Really?
Yes.
And it's from 1990.
It's from 1990 and it's old and dusty.
The year I was born? Really?
Perhaps.
So am I old and dusty?
No, because you're not a DVD. I'm just saying, we've come out with 2, 3, 4 different iterations of how to watch a movie and we're still on
But
DVDs.
I think they do it because DVDs are cheaper than Blu-ray and all that other stuff. So for the people who can't afford the Blu-rays and the this or the that,
Oh, excuse me. Get little runs on the
little sleepy. Sorry.
Sleepy runs. But no, it's funny. I as you can tell, I have a lot of movies behind me. I used to go to like a lot of like kind of mom and pop places because they'd be cheap. Quarter, 50 cents. Every once in a while, you'd come across a mom and pop shop that you would have thought that a DVD was something that
collector,
it came to you from the future. Like someone spawned in from the heavens and said, here's a DVD, and they had no idea what it was. They had never heard of one.
What are you talking like it's expensive?
They were pricing like the Aristocats on Disney DVD, $80.
What?
Yes, like
$80.
That's an exaggeration, but even $50. It's like, you guys know that this is
but realistically, like $10.
No, there's specific ones. These people have
Because they know that's a hard one to find.
They have marked the price, and it's been sitting there for 47 years, and they're wondering why they haven't pushed them out the door. Or you go to some, I kid you not, you could walk into any place that sells a DVD, and they will have the movie Vantage Point. They will have 87 copies, maybe even 100.
Expensive too.
Vantage Point. No, these will be $1, but they should just hand them to you on your way out, even if you don't make a purchase.
Vantage Point. What's that?
It's kind of like a JFK-esque movie, like an assassination movie. But if any of our listeners are out there, go into a place that sells used DVDs. I guarantee you will find Vantage Point, and they will probably have 8 of them stacked up on top of each other. But with all that being said,
I was like, I gotta try that out.
How did we meet?
We
met in person.
We met in person. No, honestly, I was the one that pursued you, if we're gonna just jump right in.
Yeah.
You were really difficult to date in the beginning.
Well, so for all you listeners out there that don't know geographical locations in California, Southern California, it's beautiful. It's marvelous. It's fantastic. But it takes 18 years to get from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I found out that you lived in LA area and I was in Corona, if it was pitch black and nobody was on the road and I could drive 150, I could get to you in an hour. Yeah. Those are not the cases.
Yeah. So we really had to put in a lot of effort to hang out. Yeah. But I think where it all kicked off is, okay, you... Listen, I was single momming it with 2 kids. That's childcare and all kind of stuff.
Yeah,
to drive that far.
Yeah,
and my car was a blink away from exploding.
Mm-hmm.
So, back it up. Beep beep beep. Are we doing 3? Okay. You did like an Instagram post about Jesus or something, and I commented on it. We were in the DMs, y'all.
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I was really pursuing you, which was different for me.
The one thing that I thought was cool, and I mean, when you're 30-ish years old, it's pretty quick to be like, hey, like let's just get on a phone call, see if this is worth our time. Oh
yeah, I did say, hey, let's talk on the phone.
Yeah, and honestly, like I like that because it's just like, let's just cut to it and figure out like...
I think for me, I wanted to, like, you have to almost do that quickly because what if you're like liking someone, you get on the phone, they're like, hello? Hello?
Come on. Are you taking jabs at Mahomes? I know the season's over.
I was not. That's you because I was just saying...
Don't be ragging on my boy Mahomes.
I was just saying a crazy voice.
Got my cup over here.
Or what if you answered the phone and you're like, hello? Hi.
Now that would have been an issue. That would have explained a lot of my singleness.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, we got to get down to it right away.
Can you remember where you were when we were on the phone call for the first time?
I was sitting under my cloud. I used to have, I have this huge like LED cloud in my living room that I made, and I was sitting under it. Yeah.
That sounds like a conversation like 80 years from now. It says, I was sitting in my cloud of memory.
Under the cloud.
And I was retrieving the data out of my cloud, and I was sending it back and forth.
Oh, okay. You know what I mean? I guess. Well, I mean, like, I actually had a made LED.
That kind of went over your head like a cloud.
No, I understood. It's just, but yeah, I pursued you.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, we wouldn't be here, huh? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I can. Well, I'm just saying, like, yeah, if you don't pursue someone, you're probably not going to end up together.
So my thing is this.
But I appreciate it.
Is it because I lived an hour away? Was that the issue for you?
Yeah, I think the distance. Well, let me first back it up a little bit. No beep beep. Just a little nudge back. A little scoot back. I can still remember exactly where I was. I was sitting in a parking lot at 24-hour Fitness, and apparently they're not actually open 24 hours, which is the most deceitful thing you can say to somebody.
Really? Maybe some areas.
I think it was like a COVID type thing. So I'm just sitting there. Gym's closed. I get the message from you like, hey, let's get on a phone call. The instant I heard your voice, it was just like so warm and nice, you know?
You're so sweet.
It just felt nice. Give us a little.
I'm blushing.
Give us a little taste of the voice.
No, that's all. You always put me on the spot. Jeez.
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. We just talked for, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes and kind of just caught up about who we are, what we like doing, church, stuff like that. And yeah.
I remember being pretty aggressive on that phone call in certain ways because I wasn't aware that you were not from LA.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, be careful with the girls out here. They're so extra, like, because he's handsome.
I was being
he was
interrogated.
So sweet. No, I wasn't. Was I?
Not really, no.
Oh.
Well, that was one thing. That's true, though, because at the time, I have another account that's like a business basketball ministry, yada, yada. And it's predominantly in Iowa. So I think you had kind of went through that. You were going deep through my stuff.
We Insta stock. Ladies know.
Yeah. But to your defense or whatever you want to call it, it looked as if I probably didn't live in California.
Right. I was like, it says you're from Iowa. So, and you're like, no, but I'm over here. And I looked on the map and I was like, oh, that's not too far. Mind you, I was not a far driver at that point. Scared out of my mind. The first time I came to visit you, I was having a heart attack.
Yeah, which it's crazy.
The furthest I've ever driven was Disneyland, and even that was like
Anaheim. Yeah.
Now I could drive far.
It's funny. You would assume big city people they're just traveling all the time.
No,
but
not with all that traffic.
Yeah, you just
it
didn't
has to
really
be a
get
really
out.
intentional drive. So yeah, the drive was long. I came before that. Did we go to the wedding before or after that? After, right? It's all jumbled.
I don't know. We hung out in 3-4 times.
Yeah,
maybe.
we hung out. But okay, so basically, I invited him to a wedding.
Yeah,
which is
that's extremely bold.
Crazy. I was so locked in. I thought it felt like we knew each other for 3 to 4 months, not 3 to 4.
I thought you were going to say 3 to 4 years.
No, like enough to be like, hey, do you want to come? I invited this man to a wedding.
Yeah.
On our 4th date.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a very we've been dating
Psycho.
2-3 years. We're going to a wedding.
How did you not? You must have thought I was nuts.
No, because whenever you told me where it was at, I was like, I will be there.
What if it wasn't that?
I would have still been there, but there probably would have been a lot more thought.
You would have been like, this girl's an absolute psychopath. So basically, my one of my sister's best friends was getting married, and it was at Dr. Dre's house. And I was like, I would love to.
The Dr. Dre.
So I was like, I would love to invite him. And then I don't even know, how did I ask you? I don't remember.
Probably just a phone
straight
call.
up. I was like, hey, you want to go to a wedding?
Yeah.
You're like,
I think maybe you told me hey, my sister's gonna be at a wedding. It's at Dr. Dre's house, and I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? You dropped Dr. Dre's name.
I was like, do you want to go?
I was like, I mean, sure, that's pretty cool.
And then you tell the experience of the wedding and going and all that.
Oh, the wedding. So, yeah, so that was, you were trying to kill me.
Yeah. Mind you, this was, ladies don't do this. The order in which this happened, I should not have done.
It was like a math equation. The order of operations.
I shouldn't have done this. What am I
done
thinking?
in the inverse.
What am I thinking?
It was, I don't know, 4th, 5th date. And I met your kids for the first time. I met your parents, your sisters, your friends, your everybody you can think of.
Psycho. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. I was just so in love at that point. I didn't care. I was like, oh no, I'm marrying this. You're not going anywhere.
You were going to propose to me at Dr. Dre's
You
house.
were going to disappear and be in my trunk if, at that point. No, I would have. That is so crazy and inappropriate.
Yeah. I went up to Dre and I was like, la-di-da-di-da.
No, you didn't. Don't. We were sitting in the row behind him at the wedding.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. Just Midwestern boy, and then, not that long into my time.
His house was so big. I said,
nuts.
when we were pulling up there, I was like, where's the house? Because I thought that was a building, and then we were gonna go like past the building, and then it was gonna expose the house. They're like, no, that is his house.
Oh, let's go through this castle.
It's like 20 bedrooms. Yeah. It's crazy big.
It was definitely like, if you can imagine a castle, that was half of what his front of the house was.
And then I was like, where's the wedding gonna be? They're like, over the pool. I'm like, what do you mean over the pool?
They spent so much money.
I don't even want to say the number. We can't.
It was a lot, but
it's a sick number.
It was really cool. It was the thing that was cool too was, in hindsight, there was only like 100 people.
Yeah,
it was very intimate.
Very intimate.
It was like, dang, like,
very intimate. But like,
I'm one of these people.
We're in the in crowd.
What happened here? I was like the nerd at the cool table for the first time.
No, you know what's so funny? I went inside to help with something, and the bride comes up to me like, Is that your man outside? She was like, I knew it must have been your man. Is that some cute white boy sitting there? She's like, oh, I knew that was him.
That's funny.
I was like, that's him. But yeah, she was like, I'm so happy for you. Like it was really cute. But that wedding was crazy.
So let's back it up a little bit. Beep, beep, beep. I've got a picture. I'm not obviously going to show the address or anything, and I might blur out a ton of it. But the invitation.
Stunning.
It looked like a choir booklet.
Yeah, we're gonna do a song.
We are singing the address. It was incredible. Very eloquent. Eloquent is when you speak eloquently. Yeah, you're very eloquent. Is like, it's very elegant here.
Yeah, it's very elegant here.
So,
but we were so gutted at the whole time. We were walking around like, oh my god.
Yeah, but so, when we get there, I was driving you and the kids, right?
Yes.
So we get there.
No.
Was it just you and me?
Me, you, Asia, and her now fiance.
Oh wow!
Remember we picked up Asia's fiance?
Yeah, I was thinking that was after.
They weren't even. Yeah. They were like dating at that time, funny. And now they're engaged with a baby.
That is wild.
Isn't that crazy?
They're Mahomes fans. I remember that.
She's from here, Kansas City.
No way.
Her whole family.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And he's from Texas.
Yeah,
Dallas.
I do remember that. Like a car guy.
Yep.
But no. So the cool thing was, we get to the base of the mountain, and I was a late addition.
Your invite was 2 days before.
Yeah, it was more of like a,
and they still were able to like
so this guy's on the what do you call them, walkie-talkies. All right, we've got a Nathaniel Glidewell, and he is talking. This is like 30 minutes before the wedding kicks off. He's talking to the bride about me, and I'm just like, oh, this is so embarrassing. Why? Because I know weddings and stuff. It's like, why are you?
But when you have that much staff at a wedding, you're not stressed. She didn't have to worry about anything.
That's true.
She could have sat and had any phone call she wanted. Somebody else is doing her. She was pampered.
Yeah,
it was beautiful. She looked amazing.
It was stunning. But I was just like, oh
yeah, they're like calling to the
even met. They're like
this calling person. To the bride to call down to the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think you might even texted or called her like,
I was like, we're stuck at the gate because they're checking every car. His house was sorry to cut you off. If you didn't realize it, but even from the gate on, there was security in the bushes everywhere. Places where you wouldn't think, like you cannot get to Dr. Dre. You will get destroyed. Yeah. Hundreds of security, not just for the wedding. They said that's his every day. Well, he's a billionaire. I mean, his kids and everybody have to be secured. So
yeah, okay, we got the all clear. Send him up. So we were going up this mountain. It is beautiful. Looked like Princess Diaries. Yeah. It was insane. And we parked
to Genovia.
Yeah. So we get out and more security. It's like, bro, like your buddy down the way didn't just tell you? No, like
they're like, no, we're checking everybody again.
Are you really him?
Yeah.
Name 3 Dr. Dre songs. I'm like, oh no. So I'm going through all the lyrics. I'm trying to spout them, and so he lets us through. We only got a couple pictures because they put our phones in these.
Oh, they take your phone.
Pouches?
It's like a waterproof phone security pouch.
Yeah. So
which I get it. He doesn't want people taking pictures of his house, and he's free to like walk around and talk and drink and do whatever he wants
totally
to do.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And the bride, you don't want all these random pictures.
Well, yeah, and you don't want to, yo, I'm out here, Dr. Dre, and like recording live streams at his house.
Right,
so
right.
they're keeping it pretty low key.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, with that crowd, it would have been fine. Like everybody was
pretty calm and classy. I loved the table we were at.
Yeah.
They were hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're doing. They were a nice.
They're good.
Couple.
They had a baby.
No way.
Yeah,
Everybody we met,
a little boy,
married and babies.
Yep, they had a baby.
And I think
they're doing really well.
That was oh man, talk about your dad.
Ronnie Baby was showing out that night. Everybody loved him. He was like the Godfather walking through there, just taking pictures like, just... I'll put the pictures up, but he's so silly and I love him.
I got to know your dad without even speaking to him.
Yes, that's the first time you met my dad and he's acting like that.
It was so funny just because like it was just a classic dad, just hanging out and being himself.
Let's take a picture together. He's coming up to
me.
Hey
brother, come here.
Come here. All right. I'm
we got a picture together.
Yeah.
That was cool.
See, I was so locked in. I wasn't even realizing you're meeting these people for the first time and they're acting their 100% self.
Yeah.
My dad's being Ronnie Baby. Was Ronnie there?
No.
No, he had to work. No.
I think I met him beforehand maybe though.
Ronnie was there, I think. No. He was at the house. Because no. Because I think he had just got off of like a shift being a firefighter or whatever.
Probably.
But that was crazy. What was I thinking?
Yeah, it was a lot. But how would you say, like, honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like it's almost a performance.
Great. No, I thought you did great.
Yeah.
I thought you did great.
It is. In hindsight, it is kind of intense that that was pretty.
We were second row.
A lot. Yeah.
Family section.
Yeah, it was insane. It was fun. It was a great time. And that was definitely, for sure, like, I don't know. I think during the course of relationships, you have little, at least for me, because you always ask, when did you know? And I typically say, I don't know if there was one moment. I think there was little snapshots throughout where it was just like confirmation.
Oh, that was one of them.
There was two on that one day. Do you remember the first?
I was teaching Brian how to play the guitar.
Okay, there were three.
See how in tune we are?
Tune, really? Did you do that on purpose?
No.
Oh.
I'm not that good at those, but hey, I'll take it.
So I guess there was three. One moment was...
Oh, I know. Coffee Bean.
Yes. So I want to say it was the first thing we did. It was I picked you up, then picked up the kids, and we went to Coffee Bean. Coffee Bean's a Caribou of the Midwest in California. And as we're driving, I put on like some worship music, and Ember just starts singing along to it. And I was like, I was almost tearing up.
Was it Jesus?
Yes. It was the song Tremble, and it was the most beautiful thing. I think
her little voice, she was a tiny girl.
And I think sometimes too, it's just, and there's probably scripture that I'm forgetting, that just children singing praises and rejoicing is just like the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And it just made me like, in that moment, I was like, I like this. I want this. So yeah, we got them hot chocolates. I remember that.
Brian wasted like everything we get
one
him.
sip and it's out the door.
They were little.
Yeah. Brian, he was always tall though.
He's always been pretty tall.
Yeah.
And then I remember I bought a bunch of gifts for you to give to them.
Yeah.
And they freaked out.
They loved them.
They loved it.
I can still remember it was a basketball, a karaoke mic, and the huge Jenga set.
Yeah. Then we all got ready and went to the wedding.
But yeah, so the three little moments that day that really, I don't know, tipped the scales or whatever you want to say, was that drive, and I can't remember if it was before or after the drive, but you were playing guitar and kind of singing and teaching Brian some notes or how to sing something. And I was like, this is cool. And I was helping Ember with her hair or something.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is great. This is fun.
Yeah.
And then last moment, when we were at the table. It was pretty late in the night, and I just remember like looking at you, and I was just like, I really like her.
Oh,
this
really?
is yeah.
No.
I was just like, this is awesome. She's really cute. She's funny. She's nice.
Oh,
and it was just
so
it was very easy to get along with you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that when we're talking about it, it makes it sound like we were just awestruck. We were honestly pretty chill, and we were just hanging out.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. We were kind of just walking around, talking.
We were just like, ooh, look at the taco table.
Yeah.
You want to get one? But, you know, because, you know, we both don't drink alcohol. So we were trying to find like drinks that we can drink because they had like bar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a person who drinks alcohol, they would have loved to be there. You could just go up and get some.
I totally forgot that.
So we found coffee.
After or before the wedding. It's all kind of a blur. But they had like a social hour of just servers coming around just, would you like this? How about this? It was like that.
And I was like, just one at a time, honey.
But they had different drinks and food, and oh man, it was great.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great night.
I remember just munching on the pizza. They had I think it was pizza. It was like very delicately made pizza.
Was it bruschetta?
Maybe.
Oof, whatever it was good.
Bruschetta.
Ooh, bruschetta.
Bruschetti.
Bomb. We're on the hunt for the best bruschetta in town.
But we didn't quite cover it. The wedding though was stunning. They had live violinists, violinists.
And they're playing as you go walk to your seat. And it wasn't, you know how expensive just one of those are? She had like 6 to 8. Yeah. Oh, hi.
I don't know you, but I'm about to.
Hi. It was beautiful.
It was a good time. The thing that was also really cool though that we kind of hinted at, he had a infinity pool that overlooks.
I wonder how big it actually is because we only saw part of it, and it was huge. The part that was left open was huge.
This man had hired Marines,
scuba people,
to scuba dive down into his pool, and they built a bridge.
They built
just for the wedding.
Just for the wedding, we were walking on the pool.
I know. Walking on water.
They built a bridge just so you can walk to your seat, and then they built a whole wedding reception on top of the pool with the tinting, the chandeliers inside.
The chandeliers.
But I was like, what?
Yeah.
So we're calculating everything in our head like,
oh, this is hundreds
and I'm like,
of dollars.
I don't even know if I have gas for tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to hit this man up on the side and be like, can you slide me $200?
It was absolutely impeccable.
Oh my God. The champagne colors.
One thing though.
The music.
No.
The food.
No.
The food.
Dre, you're cutting corners on your daycare service.
Yo, Dre, what was that? So there was about 4 kids there, correct? About 4.
So it was as if it was a movie. You know, sometimes as children, you don't like to go to places, which is totally understandable. Even as an adult, I don't like doing things. So sometimes you got to tell kids, hey, it's going to be so much fun. They're going to have pizza. They're going to have movies. They're going to have, there's bounce houses. There's
we are
so many kids. You're going to be begging to stay.
Yeah.
We get there.
That's what we were told, though.
There was.
I think that guy like oversold his resume.
Oh, well, but the guy can't create the children to be there.
He's supposed to come with games and like magic tricks. And, you know, he's supposed to be this like extra special babysitter. And he could probably watch a dog.
Yeah.
And
there was
a
total of 4 children. I don't even know if they ate.
I don't think they ate. I don't know what they did. I just remember looking up and poor Brian.
So again, at that time I was just the boyfriend, and I was trying to, you know, fit that role. And every once in a while I bounce around and, you know, check on Brian and Ember. Ember, you could give her.
She's pretty easily entertained.
A sticker, and she'd be entertained for hours.
Yeah,
which is great. Brian, on the other hand, he needs stimulation. He's
much more mature.
He's more mature.
Mm-hmm.
this at the time he was what, 8, 9?
He might have been 8.
8. Whatever the case is, this man, for the entertainment, would tell, at one point I'm watching this happen, unfolding before my very eyes. Hold your hand up and I'm gonna toss a ring on it. Just like one ring.
Imagine an 8-year-old with the mind of a like 12-year-old, and he's 12, poor kid.
It's like he was a tree in a play, and he's tossing a ring on it, and I was like, oh no. But the thing that made it hard was we weren't really allowed to like bring them with. That was kind of the point. There was a divide. Mm-hmm. They were on one side of the moat, we were on the other.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing and it was sad, it truly was a movie scene. It starts to rain. We're on one side and just and
stop.
We're having a good time just dancing, food, and I'm looking over through the rain.
It started raining.
And Brian just like just standing there, just watching.
Poor kid.
From a distance. And I was just like,
my baby. I felt so bad. Sorry, buddy.
Eventually we went and rescued him, and
we just said forget it. We brought the kids over
because
they're well-behaved kids. Like I felt like all the kids are very well-behaved. They're not gonna throw food and plates and tantrums like and exactly. So that was a very interesting wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it was so much fun.
We had a good time.
I wish there's certain moments in life you wish you could just go back and kind of either do it again or just
slow
be
it
like,
down to remember.
Yeah, or just be a fly on the wall and like watch it.
Yeah,
that would be one of them. Also too, just so I could see your dad just posing again.
Yeah, well, it was a big deal for my family too because I've never brought anyone home like that or been like, it's important to me, y'all. Mm-hmm. Don't act up. So that was a big deal for them. They've never seen me like even we were holding hands and all kind of stuff. They've never seen me do that. That's a lot for my parents. But my parents are pretty chill.
Yeah,
like
very, very
Ronnie
chill.
Baby was being him, Yeah, I thought it was great.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
So
do you know he eventually disappeared into the house with Dre and all them and was like,
your dad?
Yes. My dad,
see him.
all the guys went inside.
That's funny.
And because he was like, they wanted a better drink from his private stash. And they all went in and had one together. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing in there with Dre?
What a guy.
What y'all got in here for and I love that they all respect their elders. Like all the, even though like, Dre and them are older.
Oh yeah,
they were like, "Oh,
that is cool,
Unc or whatever. He got to come in here. Come on, get Unc, get him on in here."
Did you also see through his like window? I don't know, windows. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of his awards were just chilling on a shelf.
See, that's like his home. He has a bunch of homes, but we were able to be in his like, I come home here every day. And not a lot of people, that security will snap your neck. You can't get into this place. So the fact that we were there on our 4th day was so crazy. Mm-hmm. You know what else I loved? And I never tried this before. The heated seats in his house. Remember, I
just chairs.
Remember, I had to go inside the house to help out with the kids.
We talking reclining chairs?
The toilet.
Toilets.
Once you sit down, warm. Inviting, welcoming you in.
I wondered why you were gone so long.
Shut up. No, I was changing the kids into their pajamas so they can go. But yeah, it was, I went into his daughter's room. That's where the bride was getting ready in the daughter's room. Stunning room. First of all, you know how we have our piggy banks, right?
Yeah.
Her piggy bank's like a big glass jar full of just cash.
Oh yeah.
No coins.
Filthy cash.
No coins.
Get out of here.
It's just cash. I'm
straight
like,
cash, homie.
And then her tubs are just in the middle of the bathroom. Beautiful. Like one of those nice,
What do you think of those tubs where it's just like a big white tub?
I'm not a fan. No. I want to be able to set like stuff up on the side, and if I want to watch my stuff, I gotta hold it.
What if you had like a little side situation?
It's just not my vibe.
Not your cup of
I like the little square joints to the wall.
Square joints to the wall.
You know,
like where it's like a jacuzzi type.
Yeah,
okay.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. But there was, what else did they have in the house? The groom, when they got married, had an afro, and by the reception, he had cornrows. So I was walking past him getting his hair braided.
Yeah.
In the house, they had a fruit buffet that was insane. The food inside was just as good as outside, but it was like private for every.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I had that one.
They're like, sir, we just came by you 5 times. You've had it, but we'll keep.
That was somebody else.
Who? Me? Yeah.
I think our names were on the table too. That was kind of cool.
And imagine, they added your name 3 days before. Usually that stuff's done.
I might have kept mine.
Did you?
I think somewhere in the depths of a shoebox. I think I do have it. I'll have to find it.
It was definitely a beautiful wedding.
We'll throw some pictures up, maybe a video here and there. We could only get a few moments because our phones were in the pouch.
I wish we could have got. Oh, we would have been.
Yeah.
Doing the most.
It was a good time.
What was that thing called that we walked by and the water was going way down?
Oh,
do you remember that? What was that?
Yes.
And where was it going to?
So there was one part where you're kind of walking from the front yard to the back side of the castle, and they have like this. I looked down, and
it's like never ending
tunnel down with water just flowing down it, and I still couldn't figure out how it was made and what was happening. But it was like a waterfall. Just
let's not forget the waterfall that when you first walk in, behind you and my dad, huge waterfall. Yeah. What?
It was so cool. We had a good time, and
yeah, pretty wild business there.
So that was the wedding, and fast forward quite a bit in our relationship. I eventually relocated to a job down in Frisco, Texas, working with a couple of friends of mine, great guys, known them since, one of them I've known since 6th grade, maybe even before that. Anyways, working with them. Crazy. We had an office at the Star down in Dallas and Plano area, and that was kind of a tough time for us just because we were literally, we might as well have been halfway across the world.
I think a lot of people don't realize that we did live apart for a whole year.
Yeah.
That's
tough.
That's really tough.
Yeah.
Especially for a person who hates flying. I have such a fear of it.
Yeah.
I had to.
We flew in and out every once in a while just to, see each other. Probably, I don't know, every 3-ish months on average, I would say.
Was it? Wow, was it that far
Sometimes,
in between?
Yeah, 2-3 months.
Whew.
So I was living down in Frisco, was living with a few different guys there, working at an office and having a great time. Just living life and trying to provide and kind of get myself ready to propose. And you had no clue.
I had no clue.
Not a clue in the world.
I feel like I bugged you a lot about it, but us women, we can bug till the cows come home. We don't really think it's actually going to happen.
And I in hindsight, I'm glad you did bug me. Like I love that you loved me and still love me, but just to know you were just like really wanting to get married. There were so many people.
I would always be like, so what are we doing?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
There would be a few people from, friends or whatever that'd be like, so do you think she's going to say yes? And I was like, there is no doubt in my mind.
People asked you if I was going to say yes?
Yeah. I mean, I think naturally when someone asks or you tell them.
I almost never think that a girl's going to say no. That seems like
maybe it's just a guy thing to say.
Rare, yeah.
You say,
like,
hey, I'm going to propose.
She's going to say yes.
Oh, there is no doubt.
You know what's so crazy? When the day come, I don't even think I got the word yes out. I was out of breath.
It
took my breath away. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what?
So let's back it up because I have to say, I think I did an incredible job.
You did
proposing.
A good job. You did a really good job.
One thing I did know that if I made it this huge ordeal, like 300 people are watching on the live stream.
I would have hated it.
Candles and cakes and food and all of our loved ones you've ever known are there.
Yeah.
You would have probably said no.
I would have said yes, but I would have talked to you later. Like, why'd you get?
Yeah, you probably would have been like, you don't
I'm pretty
know me?
private in a lot of ways, and look how I was acting with just the photographer there and Chives. I was still like,
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Don't spoil it. So I had it perfectly planned. Oh man, you had no clue. You had
I had no clue. I was like
coming.
in a state of panic right before because you were. I thought the car was breaking, and I was like, great.
Yep. So I said, hey, I'm gonna fly you in.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna hang out, and you're kind of like, all right, let's keep hanging out and flying in and out. And
was I sounding defeated?
Not really, but it was just. I mean,
there's a slight.
I would tell my friends like it legitimately makes sense that she's kind of like, man, like what is happening? I moved to Texas. She's in California. It made sense. You're 30. I'm 30. You know, it's like, what are we doing? And so I had planted the seed a couple times with Aaron Chives, and I had told him, I think he was maybe the first person I told. I was like, this is what's going to happen, and this is I need your help. So the plan was Aaron Chives, and this is where Chives was born officially.
Yeah.
He came down. I'm going to have Lauren fly in. We're going to go out to eat. But before we go out to eat, I've got a classic car, and I'm going to pop the hood and kind of be like, this thing's been kind of acting up. We'll drive it.
I completely believed it too. I was like, oh man, this car.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for you. I was like, he loves this car.
So, and it kind of made sense. It's a classic car. It's a beautiful car. So I popped it, and I was just like, let's just take it. It'll be fine. I'll double check the levels, the fluids.
Yeah,
when we
I
get
remember.
there.
I was like, can we just not take this car?
Yeah.
I was like begging you.
So I get in the car, and I had already been to the location once or twice with the photographer to kind of, all right, here's the game plan. This is what's going to happen. Boom, bam.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'd been there once with my parents, and I think twice with the photographer and once with Chives. So,
wow.
So me popping the hood was kind of just to set the scene because it was going to be the setup for when I proposed. So we're driving. It's about a 15, 20-minute drive, and it's going to be in McKinney, Texas. And there's this really unique, I think they call it like a village. And it looks as if you are in Italy, but you're in Texas of all places.
Yeah.
And I pull up to this just stunning, beautiful spot. Very picturesque. And I get out, and I'm like, hey, just stay right here, because we're going to go to a restaurant. So I was like, hey, just stay right here. I'm going to pop the hood, just make sure everything's good. And the hood pop was the cue for Chives to run up in full suit. He knocks on the door.
He scared me so bad, just like Valentine's Day. Every time Chives pops up, he is startling me. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm going to throw the video up, because what's funny is if you kind of slow it down, he knocks on the door so hard. I think you were like doing your makeup or something. You just drop it.
Yeah, because I was like,
and your eyes just like,
showtime. Chives need to be here for the moment.
Oh!
One more photo, madam. One more photo.
What is happening?
Smile.
Wait, what's going on?
And it still didn't register what was happening. And he said something like, Chives had to be here for this. He said something like that. And I'm still like, what? So I was thinking, oh, okay, Chives is gonna have dinner with us. He's funny. Like, I enjoy his company. So that's about as far as my brain was going.
Yeah. So he's like, in full character, madam, I had to be here for the big moment.
Yeah, he said something like that. And I was like,
he's
what?
like, right this way. And he like points you to the front of the car. And at that point, I put the hood down, and I lose my breath thinking about it again.
I was just like, whoa.
So
it was wild.
She walks up. Did you know? Like, you had to have known at that point.
Nothing was registering until you said something about, I talked to your dad. I was like, oh, shoot. I was out of breath. It was an out of body. Like, it's a blur.
I think you were, you literally just blacked out.
Yeah, I was out. I was out.
The moment she saw me standing there with the ring after because she couldn't see me with the hood up, and then when it goes down, boom.
See, here's the thing: the ring was, it kind of camouflaged into your pants. I honestly didn't see it right away.
I think it was in my hands,
but it was
point.
still like tan and tan. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Nothing was coming together.
So she walks up to me and she was completely out of breath. Like she was just like,
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Panting, and then the photographer is no more than 4 feet away from us, and she didn't know he was there. She was so locked in. I
was just like so shocked. Like, you think as a little girl or just a girl in general, you're like, that moment is such a big deal to us, and you're always wondering, what is it gonna be like? And then there's that 1 second where you're like, okay, he's about to open this box. Oh no! Like that's a big deal for us. Like, we have to wear it. It's very important to us, you know?
You get to wear it. So I opened up the ring. I didn't say a whole lot. I think before I opened it, I was just like, spoke to your dad.
When you said you talked to Ronnie Baby, I was like, oh, my brain was just like, what did that man say?
Because you said you thought it was going to be years before I proposed. No,
I thought at least 2-3 years.
That's crazy.
I thought I was going to bug you for another 2-3 years.
That is insane.
But in my world, people wait. Nobody's just doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
So we had dated, I don't know, year and a half or so. And
about 2.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I think I just said, I spoke to your dad, talked to my parents, talked to a few friends. And
each thing you said, I was like, huh?
I think I even said I don't know if I talked to the kids. I think I did.
I think the kids knew.
I think maybe I talked to Brian, because Ember
was so little. Yeah, she was already,
Yeah, I always felt a little bit bad that I didn't talk to your mom, only because she just seems like the bird would get out.
No,
the bird would get wings and fly.
It might have flown to a couple of like Gerald.
Oh, okay,
but not.
Totally love your mom. It was just kind of like. Oh, and funny story. I think I told you this. So I'm talking to your dad, and after I get done, I'm like, please, if you could, I'm gonna literally propose. I think in like a week, and I was like, if you could, just don't tell anybody. And he was like, I got you, brother. Now give me some money to keep it quiet.
How much money? How much you gonna pay me for my silence?
Oh man,
Ronnie Baby,
that was funny.
How much you gonna pay me for my silence?
Yeah,
this guy.
So funny.
It's your daughter. What is wrong?
What a goof.
He's so silly. He is such a silly person, and I love it. But
so you said yes. We went to this Italian spot, and I think we had pizza, bruschetta.
Best bruschetta so far.
Yeah, we've been on this kick that every time we go to an Italian spot, we get their bruschetta. It's just kind of become a fun little thing, and
good.
we rate them. And I think we spoke maybe on a past episode of one that we had here in Kansas City.
Terrible.
I was
like, that's not bruschetta. That's a dessert.
It was. There must
if we
be
ever
a
go,
spectrum.
but no, we are not going to order that again. But if we ever go back or we find a picture,
yeah, I'll at least have a conversation with them. What's up
what's
with the
going
bruschetta
on?
Here?
Don't call it bruschetta.
It was bizarre.
I feel like that was it. Chocolate on it.
It was like raspberry chocolate drizzle.
That's
something.
not bruschetta.
It was
don't make me upset.
I'm gonna throw up a video just showing off the ring, and
yeah, you did that.
We still get people. Seems like every time we're out, like, wow, look at that. Which, I mean, that wasn't my intention. I just
they're always like, whoa, it's a really nice ring.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, right? I was expecting this, and I got this.
What do you always
say?
I'll
take it.
He got a hamburger with extra.
I say
extra
you gotta.
cheese
You know what's so funny? I got that from Erica. Shout out to you, Erica. She calls it a Whopper Junior with extra cheese.
Oh wow, well, Whopper Junior boy.
Or no, she does. She's like, ooh, she got a Whopper with extra cheese. That's what we say about the rings. Like if it's a
you especially, but your whole family has so many funny sayings. And actually, now that I think about it, I think everybody's family just grows up with different sayings. Like one of them that my grandpa would say is, "We might not have much, but we sure do eat well." I thought that was so funny. Even as a kid, I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
To me, it was so funny.
Was he your dad's dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry. What a classic old name, Larry.
Grandpa Larry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Colleen.
I have an Uncle Larry.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Colleen, Larry. Colleen's a cool name. You don't hear it very often. But
Colleen.
Yeah. Colleen.
I'm trying to think. My grandma's name is Tennessee. I love that name.
Cool name.
Tennessee. And then we have Cato. I think his name is. Is it Cato?
Yeah.
Why do I not know my grandpa's name? They passed so young, so is it Cato? No, that's one of the uncles.
I feel like I heard that recently in a movie or TV show.
And my other grandma's, I don't know my mom's dad's name. Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
I never got to meet any of them except for my mom's mom. Everybody passed away pretty young.
Yeah. My mom's, here we go with the dyslexic family trees. My mom's parents, my grandparents, is Beverly and Clyde. It reminded me of when we were at the Pizza and Prayer. The lady was Beverly. I was like, oh, grandma's name.
Beverly's a cute name.
Mm-hmm. That just sounds like a grandma, though.
I think Clyde sounds more grandpa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Grandpa
Clyde is a grandpa. Beverly was born to be a grandma for sure.
Tennessee.
So the proposal happened. It was there.
We did it.
We did it. And
we had a wedding.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to save that for another episode? Just the wedding episode? Because I want to get to the honeymoon.
Okay, we can get to the honeymoon.
We had discussed many, many different places to go. And where did we decide to go, honey?
Vegas.
We went to good old Vegas.
Only because we had such a short time to have a honeymoon because we were moving. So, of course, you want to go to Fiji, Maldives, da-da-da. But I was like, by the time my passport expired, by the time we get that, by the time we do all that, we have to come back and move. It was just too much.
Yeah.
So I was like, we can go to Vegas.
From LA to Vegas is a 30, 40-minute flight. It's cheap. It's quick. It's a great place to go.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a lot of bad rap from people in the Midwest.
I know.
It's a cool, fun place. And surprisingly
clean.
Very clean.
LA's dirtier than Vegas.
Yeah. Maybe we just caught it at a good moment. But
I will say
clean.
it was deathly hot.
Deathly hot.
Like bad. Just even going across the street was like a struggle.
You know what's crazy is if it's 8 degrees, I am dripping cold or dripping sweat.
Mm-hmm. You weren't really sweating, huh?
I don't know. It
was drying the sweat because it was so hot.
It felt good.
What?
And I'm not saying that like it ain't hot.
Are you
and
serious?
I'm actually like,
you don't remember that?
It was hot, yes, but it just felt good, like a refreshing,
like a warm hug.
Like this heat feels good.
Wow, and I'm always cold, and for me that was. So
I think one
hot.
time I want to say I might be crazy, but I want to say it was like 112. It was very hot, but it wasn't very humid. It was just heat.
Yeah.
But we had a blast. Tell us a little about it.
So the room was absolutely stunning. I mean, that room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what did you call? What is that tub called?
A Japanese
tub. It was almost like a huge jacuzzi.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big tub connoisseur.
We were at the Cosmopolitan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what makes a Japanese tub a Japanese tub.
Me neither.
Maybe the shape, or maybe it's that it has no jets and it's just like.
Oh, maybe.
But it was
cozy in there.
It was just a very elegant tub, but it had like a shower walk-in. You walked through the shower to the tub, and at night you could just look out the window and out on the, what do you call it, a balcony?
Yeah.
And just see the lights in the sphere.
I told you, I said Cosmo is it.
The sphere was so cool. And then we could see the fountains every hour, just music's playing. The cool thing though was, since we were, I don't know, 40th floor, like it was like a faint sound. It wasn't like
Loud.
Every time the water would come on, it'd be like, luck be a lady tonight.
And I'm glad we weren't too close, because after the 10th time of that, I would have been like,
can you imagine being on the first floor?
I would just
luck.
It's terrible.
But yeah, it was a faint roar that just kind of was almost like white noise, because it was just like the stereotypical like honk honk, like people driving by, hustle bustle.
It was beautiful. All the lights, all the, what a great view that was.
Do you remember one kind of funny noise that we kept hearing outside?
The mariachi band?
Yes.
That wasn't funny. That was annoying.
It was like 7 p.m. Imagine this scene.
But they would go till like 3 a.m.
Imagine the scene. It is 120 degrees at night. No sun. 120. 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 9, 10, 11, midnight.
I said, surely they're going to stop.
Are we going for 1? Can I get a 2? It was 2 a.m. probably still just. They had to have been exhausted.
Yeah, and it was almost every night.
While in Vegas, they know their clientele and they know how to draw them in with your favorite movies. All the games play exactly the same. Mm-hmm. You put your money in or you tap or whatever. You press a button and it's just random. There's no skill.
Right.
It's not like Chuck E. Cheese's or Dave & Buster's where there could be some skill or luck or, well, you know what I mean? Like it's nothing skill-based whatsoever with these slot machines. But they know their clientele. Like you got your Wizard of Oz over here. You got your Lord of the Rings game. You got your Price is Right.
And all that. Yeah.
What's that?
The Mummy.
Yeah, the Mummy, Star Wars game.
Yeah.
But they're all the same.
Yeah.
Nothing is different.
Pulling and
they're pulling a switch and or pressing a button.
Yeah, unless you're doing like the difficult ones in the middle, but
yeah. We did not go to Vegas to gamble. But I was just like, hey, we're here. Let's just kind of treat this like Chuck E. Cheese. I have $200. This is the maximum that we will spend. Whenever it is gone, it is gone. And let's just play as if we're not even going to win a dollar. It's
Be
all
honest,
going.
Did you get the itch a little bit?
No, I didn't. But you.
I felt like I got the itch like a tiny bit. I wouldn't gamble our, mortgage away or nothing like these men.
Next thing you know, you're over there like.
Some people were like sick.
Oh, yeah.
You lost it all.
You see some guy at the poker table at 5 p.m. and he's like just having the time of his life. And then you go back at midnight and he's like, oh, no.
Yeah, $20K gone. I got the itch for like just a little stitch of a time.
The itch of the stitch of an itch. How does the itch feel? Do you have a voice?
Well, I just thought.
Is there a song?
I felt like we won, so let's just take a little bit of the winning and keep going.
Yeah, we're only here probably once, maybe twice in our life. Let's just have fun. So we quickly, they caught my eye with the Bilbo Baggins, the Lord of the Rings game. I have no clue what I'm doing. I tap it. Next thing you know, I spent probably upwards of $30 with nothing to show for it. And
sick.
These games last not even 3 seconds. Mm-hmm. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
Like at least
that's why that's something I couldn't get addicted to.
Yeah,
it's not a quick. It's supposed to be like a quick high, but it's
it's just quick sadness.
Quick. It's just instant sadness.
10 gone, 20, 30.
You're like,
100.
Whoa!
I've been here for 8 seconds and I'm already 100 down.
Broke.
So
yeah,
I think we lost literally like $30. No joke, less than 5 seconds.
For sure.
The ring they stole.
I felt like we decided we were like,
ring.
Let's walk away from this machine.
Yeah,
we were in like the high roller part,
I guess.
Yeah.
And you can't be too high. They had Lord of the Rings to draw people
Half
in.
those people were high.
So we went over to another roulette or pole switch thing, and these people are just smoking these people had been there a while. Their cigs, they were just down to the nub. They were just smoking them.
Didn't they like sneeze or lick their fingers or something?
Oh,
crazy?
yeah. You know, I think a lot of people have weird tactics. They're very superstitious.
Yes.
So maybe they pull and they get $2. So they're like, oh, I swiped my nose on my shirt. So I should probably keep doing that.
Yeah.
Or maybe if I lick my fingers. And they've got all different tactics. Did we lose more on that one? No. We won like $17. And you were like, oh,
I was locked in.
You were
at
to
that
the
point.
moon.
Once we won, $17 in 1 second.
Not to mention that we were technically still at a negative, but we had.
Oh, is that when we came down from 200 to 17?
In Lauren's eyes, we had won, and so next thing you know, I'm like, all right, let's venture on out. Okay, I see something familiar. The friendly ghost. Let's check out this guy. Casper, the friendly ghost. Mm-hmm. I had a dog named Jasper, so this is kind of a sister to it. Mm-hmm. And they have, I think that's just called multipliers. And if you guys have been to the casinos a lot, you're probably like, you guys have no clue what you're describing, which is true. They have like a 1x, 3x, 6x, 12x. And, you know, I was just like, you know what? Let's just put it all in. So every time you hit the buzzer, $9 gone. $9 more, $9 more.
It was hard to watch.
It quickly goes from 200 to we're down to the point where you can't bet $9 anymore. You can only bet, I think, 3 because you only have each bet is, you know, $9. Well, you lose so much you don't have $9 to bet. So we get to the point where the most we can bet is a $1 bill. And
it got pretty grim.
I was in the moment. I felt a little superstitious. Caspy was looking down at me. Mm-hmm. He was laughing sometimes. Did you notice that?
Little friendly ghost.
Did you notice?
I was so tunnel vision stressed. I was just like getting sick. 200 gone. I was sick.
Sometimes you would press it and you'd win like $4 and it'd be like, keep it going.
Yeah.
And then you press it and you'd lose.
It
just gets you angry. You want to press that button again.
Mm-hmm. You had the itch.
And I was like feeling a little superstitious. You know what, babe? I think it's your turn. You got us a little earlier. You press it.
I'm like, you sure? And it was our last hit?
You pull it, we win like $10. So then we're like, we can bet 9 again. We got 10, let's bet 9. So then what happened?
I smacked it. It was going. And I wasn't understanding what was happening.
You were baffled.
I was like, what does that mean? You're like, we just won.
I look up.
We won on our last hit.
So depending on how much you were betting, there's the jackpots are the equivalent. So we were at the second highest buy-in. If we would have bet.
I don't even like to think about that. I lose sleep. We could have got hundreds of thousands.
We would have, I think, won like $300,000.
Yeah, $300,000.
I have the picture. I'll throw it up.
Maybe 100,000.
It was something insane. But we walked away with
$2,000.
You know, 2,000 and change. And the moment we had them, what also makes it even more dramatic and just makes you just bask in it. They come up because it's so much money. They have to pay you in cash right there, and you sign a W-2.
I thought that was crazy.
I became an employee of the casino.
Yeah, you worked there.
Yeah.
I just wish they had a better form of paying you, because there's a lot of psychos in Vegas and people who have just lost everything, people who would do anything to have that, and they're handing it to you in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And you have to hold your hand out while they're counting it slowly into your hand, and you're just like, just hand it over. I trust you. Come on, let's make the deal.
Right.
I feel like a crazy person could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wish they had a better system.
I imagine if you win like
I've seen videos on Instagram where a person won like 300,000, 200,000, 100,000, and they're just standing there counting it at the machine. I'm like, what?
What also was really funny was, it's all relative. In the moment, we had made $1,800 and we were just giggly. It was that time of night where you're just everything's funny, and we were just giggly.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I think some of the people around us thought we'd probably just won $2 billion, and
the way we were, the way we were made a scene.
It was just
you would have thought we hit the max. I was just laughing because it was just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like we went from not knowing how to play any machine, walking up to a worker like, can you teach us how to do this? To then seeing the same worker later like, hey, guess what, we won. And he was like, really? He almost seemed like, okay.
Yeah. I think he told you that to win that much, which again is all relative, it's pretty rare.
Yeah, those machines are meant to
over there.
take your money. Yeah.
So yeah, he was like, no way. That is cool.
So we won 2,000 on our honeymoon.
And then the itch was not scratched.
I felt like we could have taken 100 out of the 2,000 and kept going.
I saw a little change in your eyes. Your eyes turned a shade red.
But I'm saying, would you have not done that? What's wrong with that?
To me, I was just like, let's go out on top, like John Elway. We win the Super Bowl. Let's just get out of here.
I let it go.
I think we did do like a couple more hits and we lost like another $30, and I was like, babe, we're done.
We're done. We're walking.
We are done. This honeymoon just got paid for. I feel great.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
This is great.
So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And then another highlight for you for sure. The food. Tell me about some of your favorites.
The best queso birria tacos I think I've ever had. Wow. While people are busy going to like the really fancy restaurants and all this stuff, you looked up like delicious food nearby or something like that, and it was these tacos that were close to the Cosmopolitan. Yeah. What is the place called?
Rockin' Potato.
Rockin' Potato.
It's kind of a hole in the wall.
It's a hole in the wall, but I think I went 3 or 4 times.
Food. You go up an escalator into like a food court. It looks like you're at a mall.
Right past the M&M place.
Yeah. Great memory.
I don't even like gravy. I don't think I've ever really properly had gravy. Best gravy I've ever had in my life.
The one thing that I liked about it was piping
You
hot.
love your food to be piping hot.
It was so hot. Like,
yeah,
it's burning my tongue now just thinking about it.
Just thinking about it.
The other thing that was cool, so it was called the Rockin' Potato. It had a very weird menu. Did you notice that? Not like the aesthetics of it, but just the items on it.
No, I was so focused on the tacos.
It was potatoes, chicken, like
fried chicken and gravy,
and then
queso birria
tacos.
Everything's.
It was a very
so good
potluck. It was just a very odd array, but whatever they made,
delicious.
100 out of 100.
It was so delicious that I was shocked that people were in the food court eating other things. I'm like, you chose Panda Express
Subway
over this? Do you even know?
Rockin' Potato.
Do you even know?
Are you local?
Are you aware?
What is happening?
You just ruined your whole meal. Delicious. If you're ever in Vegas, Rockin' Potato, right past the M&M. It's a hole in the wall, but it'll
so good.
It'll fill the hole in your heart.
Also, too, the piping hot food in 100-degree food court. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
But you got that upper lip sweat, and you're just enjoying the food. It's just like, it's so hot. I'm sweating it out, but man, this is good.
Yeah.
So we went there how many times?
I want to say 3 to 4. We were there for a week. So
I don't know if that helps.
I snuck and went one additional
There was one time I checked your location.
I was there.
And I was like, this woman's at Rockin' Potato.
I didn't know that. You checked my location and I was there.
I mean, it's Vegas. I just want to make sure.
She's crazy.
No, I understood.
Were you laughing? Like, what is wrong with this girl?
I totally understood. I was just upset that you didn't give me one. This is something that I enjoy doing. I don't frequent really like Instagram or TikTok that much like at all anymore. But one thing that is so clutch to do is whenever you're in a new area, go to TikTok and just type in like food in LA, the best this, the best that.
And they have the best videos and they show you everything. Oh,
yeah, and you
that's
get
why I want to go to New York and do that.
Yeah. You get a great understanding of what you're going to get before you arrive.
Yeah.
So I would encourage anybody to, if
it's fun and you get excited to go. That's why I want to go to New York, get that one little, I'd rather be more cheap on the hotel and just pig out.
Yeah. Another thing, I don't know if you remembered, we went and got burgers one time.
Best burger ever.
And it was called Joy Burgers. Joy Burger.
I've never had a pineapple teriyaki burger and it was incredible. What kind did you get?
Blue cheese buffalo. Every once in a while.
Did you try mine?
A mountain of blue cheese on a burger.
Ooh, you like my
buffalo
dad.
sauce and the crispy onions.
But the blue cheese can get a little funky sometimes.
Yes, but
you have to tone it down with her.
It hits the spot sometimes.
No, she's good, just not so much of it.
I'm
You're
with you on
eating
that.
feet.
Feta cheese is great on a salad. I got into a phase.
Goat cheeses too. Don't sleep on goat cheese.
Never. No, I'm saying never sleep on it.
Oh, I was like,
not like never.
I've given you a salad with goat cheese. You probably didn't even know.
No,
So,
I got into this phase where feta cheese was my thing.
yeah.
It's expensive though.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
goat cheese too.
$10.
All those cheeses.
Yeah. But yeah, Joy Burger. It was probably the one restaurant and moment that we kind of ventured off the strip.
Mm-hmm.
We took that was the other thing that's kind of cool is once you get there, you can Uber everywhere and it's like $6, $8, $12, not that big a deal. So yeah, we got an Uber to Joy Burger. Again, food is just hot.
That was some good food.
They know how to do it out there. And then we also got some wings. Great wings. I've had some bad wings in my life.
I'm not a wing girl, but I don't think I tried it, but yeah.
Everything was incredible there.
Yeah.
That was kind of our food adventures.
After Vegas, we went to Disneyland back in LA. And I do like the way, what did you think about the hotel room?
I was flabbergasted.
I was shocked. I thought you had went to the wrong room or something, or you got the wrong key to a office. Not an office. What is it? The boardroom, like where they have meetings. This room was so big.
Yeah, like in the movies where they got the table that's 50 feet long. I open the room and it's. Now I'm looking in there. This hotel room is the size of a full-fledged business.
Yeah.
And there's 2 doors to get into it, I noticed. And I'm like, I close it and I'm like, I think we got
the wrong room.
We're in a business room. And I can go back in. I'm like, this is our room.
It was huge. It was very big outdoor.
Do you remember the outside patio deck thing?
Fireplace. It was just huge. It was something you can have a little party in the room.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Before you go to Disney, for sure.
We legitimately could have housed 18 to 24 people in our hotel room.
Easy.
With plenty of room.
Cake.
Yeah, it was.
Music.
It probably should have been some sort of party room.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't priced like that. It was actually a good price. So that's what threw me off. I was like, we messed up.
Something's wrong because this should cost way more than it did.
And it also, too, we were just like, we could have just honeymooned in this room. That is it. Nothing else.
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
It was such a cool
beautiful
room. I'll throw the video up and we're not exaggerating. It was
we were like,
big.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, so we went to Disney. I met Frozone in Edna mode.
Nice. You
Childhood sweethearts of mine that I just adored. So got some pictures of them.
Yep.
And then so that was kind of our story, how we met, honeymoon, and maybe we'll talk about the wedding a little more. But that's how we met.
Yeah, the wedding's a whole nother video. There were so many things that happened with the wedding, but I'm glad it's over with. We did it.
And we'll talk about our move. That's a big story too.
The move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
lot of fun, a lot of change.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap up, but before we do,
what?
I have a little. I don't know if I'm going to call it a game or an incentive. No.
Oh, I thought you were handing it to me.
This is a secret box.
Okay.
You didn't even know about this.
I have no clue what's going on.
So for you that are listening, I just have a cooler, and inside this box is a surprise for you.
Really?
Yes. You don't know what's in it, and you never will until during one of the episodes, you have to say a particular phrase. And whenever you do, balloons may fall, confetti might be shot, and music might be played, and you will get what is inside.
It's a phrase?
Yes. You can't just start blurting them out. It has to be just nonchalant throughout the pod. If you say it.
Do I say it all the time?
I'm not giving any hints. It's just going to be something fun for us, for you to be a little...
Is there something actually in there?
Yes. So don't be peeking.
I won't peek.
So like we said earlier, the anticipation, people are just going to be at the edge of their seat.
Should we put it up top for everybody to stare at? Or do you want to... Can you see it there?
Yeah, they'll be able to see it. But if you are just listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, it's just a blue cooler, but there's a little surprise in it. You say that phrase, you get what's inside of it. But until then, it's locked.
Is it something that can expire?
No.
Okay.
You open it up and it's just mold.
Fuzzy fruit or something.
Man. So yeah, that'd just be kind of a fun little thing.
That's so sweet. I love that.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna get my own box and see if you say something. Now I'm getting upset because I can't open it right now. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Please comment, like, subscribe.
Subscribe.
I thought we were doing it in threes.
Oh.
No, you ruined it now. It's too late.
Take us off. Take us away.
Yes, comment, like, subscribe.
Shout out to Brad. Just met him at church and he watched one of our videos and commented.
Such a nice guy.
A lot.
Shout out to you, Brad.
I always appreciate when people support others, whether it's business or their little ventures online. That meant a lot. So just met him a couple weeks ago and he's already like a real cool dude.
Really cool person. And we met him at a really great church. We love our new church.
Yeah. That's one thing that I want to start talking about more is, man, the church we go to.
Amazing.
We've only been going there because your new area, you're trying this one, you're trying that one. You want to find a perfect fit. This one is just so good. I
do like all of the other ones as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think for me, the drive to that other one, the kids loved it, but the drive is just a lot.
Yeah.
For me right now.
Man, everyone there is just like a genuine nice, not like they're just faking everything.
So sweet.
Man, so nice. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. And
this church is great. Love the pastor.
Yeah. And there's been few churches throughout my life because churches are hard to find, like a really good one. But this one, and especially the one in Chino Hills.
Calvary
Chapel,
that one.
Chino
He's
Hills.
so funny.
Jack Hibbs, such a good church. But that church and this one, I want to be there. I genuinely am like, I wish it was Sunday. I wish it was pizza and prayer. So yeah, I think we'll talk about just church more often. It's just such a great place to be.
There's some really like cool, funny, and we've only been there for a little bit. I remember going to get a donut and this girl's like in labor in the waiting room, and she was so sweet and just there, and I was like, oh, when are you due? She's like, any second.
Last week.
I was like, oh. She's like, that's why I'm out here walking. She was going through it.
Good for her to be there too. Like, that's cool.
In labor at church. Love it.
Man. Well, not to overshadow you, but thanks again
we're done.
for watching, subscribing, and see y'all next week.
Bye.